Hey guys, Kenneth M here. By now I'm sure you've heard about the inclusionary zoning policy that Toronto City Council has just voted to adopt. Beginning next year in 2022, 5 to 10% of all new condo developments going forward will be required to be rented out or sold at affordable rates for 99 years in order to get their zoning approvals. Kind of like extortion. The program is aimed towards households making anywhere from $21,000 to $68,000 per year. So it's not meant for those that need those social welfare programs, but rather Toronto's essential workforce, which traditionally includes jobs such as nurses, teachers, construction workers, servers, and others that basically keep our city alive. The main idea is that the cost of housing should be no more than 30% of gross income for those that qualify. The goal is to create around 44,000 new affordable housing stock over the next 10 years. After reading the theory of the policy, I'm actually excited for the idea of inclusionary zoning and affordable housing, and I just can't wait to see how it's going to be implemented here. I think it's a good thing for the city. Sure, as a landlord and a homeowner, I get to benefit from the recent rapid home price appreciation, but I don't think that price growth is all that sustainable. Rental yields just don't have much more room to shrink, and tenants can't afford to pay that much more in rent. Of course, we're starting to see the trend of roommates and multiple generations of families sharing the same home, like other more expensive cities like New York or Hong Kong, but I think wealth inequality is a real problem for Toronto. If we don't have these essential workers to sustain our city, we'll end up having a city for the rich and no one will actually want to work here because it's just too expensive to live here or the commute is just too far. There's been a lot of criticism for the inclusionary zoning program saying that the cost of these affordable homes will come from developers, which ultimately get passed on to the end consumers for the market rate housing. Ultimately, the project has to make money, otherwise the banking system won't lend money for the project, investors won't invest to get it off the ground, and builders just will build at a loss. Like, why would they? So I guess who's paying for it all? That's right, probably the end consumer. Furthermore, the affordable rental housing stock may end up dragging down the market value of rents, taking away from some of the tenant pool, bringing down the average rents. I guess it all comes down to how the city implements this policy. They could end up giving density bonuses so that developers are allowed to get additional floors so that the impact of the net is the same profit, or that the city can give tax credits and waive all or some of the development levies to help offset the cost of creating below market housing. Maybe they'll even remove the requirement for angular planes or parking requirements that just cost a lot and are really hard to recoup, or maybe they'll just expedite the development process so that rezoning approvals get pushed faster through the process so it takes months to get approved rather than several years. Time is money, right? I just don't think inclusionary zoning will have too much of an impact on the price of market rate housing. I mean, after all, the goal is around 44,000 homes over the next 10 years, and we're projected to grow by over 1 million people by then in the city of Toronto. We'll need at least 10 times the amount of homes that this policy will mandate for affordable housing. Don't forget about Canada's aggressive immigration targets of over 400,000 net new immigrants over the next 3 years to help us recover from the pandemic. So where are these people going to live? We are in a housing crisis after all, and we need affordable housing, and the market probably can take it. The other controversy that I hear a lot is that it's just going to push demand towards the outer suburbs away from Toronto, where the inclusionary zoning policies won't be required. Sure, that might be the case, but eventually those regions will have the same problems that we have in Toronto, and that's the need for affordable housing. This policy will only apply to certain parts of Toronto anyway, which are buildings that have over 100 units and are 5 to 800 meters from major transit areas. These projects are extremely desirable in the first place, and people want to live in it. It's better than creating pockets of ghettos throughout the city, and no offense to you in the suburbs, it's kind of boring out there. Then there's a NIMBYism of saying that people don't want affordable housing in their neighborhood. I mean, look, it's not people at the bottom of the social economic ladder. These are normal people like you and I that unfortunately their incomes just haven't grown as fast as the cost of housing. They are still productive members of our society. I just can't wait to see how the city grows over the next decade. I'm excited for this policy to come into play, and I look forward to living in a diverse demographic and zoning that includes everyone. As the policy framework develops, I'll be sure to keep you updated with the latest news as how it's going to affect the Toronto real estate market. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay tuned, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Add it up.